Hello folks, welcome back. Today's video we will be traveling to 5 different countries with EF Ultimate Break. First up was my forever long international flight. Of course I had to watch The Office. But the first country we are flying into today is Italy. We go to Venice and Verona. First thing on this trip was going to a welcome dinner at a pizzeria in Italy. This is where Kimberly and I are trying gelato, which I thought was delicious. As you can tell by her face, she was not as big of a fan of it. But now we are going to get into a montage of some beautiful sights that we got to see in Venice. Good morning, everyone. I'm with Caitlin. It's kind of rainy this morning in Venice, but we just took a water taxi over, and it's so beautiful. Alrighty folks, it is now the next day and we are driving into Verona. We only spent about 2 hours here, but it was just the perfect amount of time to see everything that I wanted to see. Alrighty, folks, buckle your seatbelts because we are now off to Austria. So we visited two different cities in Austria. The first one was Innsbruck and the second one was Salzburg. I was most excited to visit this country out of all of them because my great-grandpa used to live in Austria and he came over to America from there. So I was just very excited to see where some of my family was from. So now we are in Innsbruck and I will show you the little highlights from this city. We are now in Salzburg. We arrived there later in the evening, so we all took the public transport to the main part of the city to just look around a little bit, and then we also got some dinner to enjoy here. The next morning, we did a little walking tour, which you'll see a few clips of right now, so we got to learn a little bit of the history of the town and things like that, and then afterwards, we had some more exciting things, but for now, enjoy a little montage. I need to quickly explain this clip. There were children that kept going in and out of the bushes, so Noah thought he would try it himself. So that is what this video is. For the most exciting thing I've ever done, we are doing an alpine slide right now.
Yeah.
Kimberly, how are you feeling?
Nauseous.
As you just heard, Kimberly was very scared of heights, so she did not love the part going up the hill that we are doing right now that you are seeing clips of, but the views were absolutely beautiful. And here is a little montage just to see the entire ride up the little gondola. Like I said previously, this was the most fun I had on the entire trip. This is when we finally got to the top and I boarded onto the little mountain coaster. A lot of the clips I have is me going a lot slower than I actually was just because I was afraid my phone was going to fly out of my hand. But this was about a 20-minute little slide coaster thing down the mountain. So I took several clips and I'll let you guys watch the rest of them. After the Alpine slide, we went back into town to have some dinner, and we had this amazing Italian food. Here is our waiter trying to explain to us a certain place where to go, and he was just trying to act out how we got there, and we thought it was absolutely hilarious. He then told us that if we stopped in the bathroom, we had to carve our name onto the door, because that is something that all locals and tourists do. So obviously, I had to put my name in there. Afterwards, we walked over to something called the Fortress, which is basically this mini castle on top of a hill that you take a little thing up there. There's me pointing to where we are trying to go. But once we got up there, it was just really cool to see different sights and things like that. There was a bunch of mini things to do up there. So I'll get back to another montage for you to see everything that was up there. Guten Tag, we are now in Germany. Before I show the next clip, I need to give a little bit of background. So this morning was July 4th, and our tour director, Roxy, thought it would be very patriotic to wake us up this way. So enjoy this next clip. As you can see, we did not especially love this little wake-up call, but it was very funny to look back on. We now are in the city of Munich, where we are doing a walking tour with a tour guide who is telling us all about the history and significance of the different buildings and things like that. This was one of my favorite cities we went to. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful to see all the architecture and buildings they rebuilt from World War II. That was amazing to see. On our way to get lunch, we saw this headless man playing the accordion, which was super funny. Lunch obviously was delicious, and now here is Matt, aka the grandpa of the group, trying to finish his stein before we had to go to our tour in like a minute and a half. We're back at our hostel now, and no one else from our room is here, but me and Caitlin are gonna try the German chocolates because they look delish. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try this one first.
Oh my gosh,
Mine's a cute little heart.
I guess I'm trying
If you
this
touch them
one.
all, that's okay. I don't mind, but
I wanted this fun one here. Oh my gosh. Okay.
okay. Cheers. It's like fudge. It melts in your mouth.
I have no idea what's in here.
I have a little
But it
nut
tastes
in
good.
mine.
I don't know. There's a filling, but
And this is what the inside of mine looks like.
I don't think you could even like tell. Oh, I don't want to drop it on the, the pillow. I don't think you can even tell. Who knows?
That's good. Delicious. After a little break at the hotel, we went back to the city where I FaceTimed my papa to show him the sights and the Glockenspiel and things like that. We also went to a place to get dinner where we tried the famous beer from Munich. We both are not big beer drinkers, so we just thought it tasted like normal beer. It was still pretty good, but nothing fantastic. This is me trying Spätzle for the first time, which was absolutely delicious, one of my favorite meals of the entire trip. And here are some more clips of us just looking at little shops and different things that we bought. This next clip shows I bought my dad a Star Wars book that is completely in German. That was his one request when I was there, so I was glad I got to get my hands on that. This is me getting ready to try a German soft pretzel for the very first time. I am a big soft pretzel fan, so I was so excited about this, and this lived up to my expectations. This was the best soft pretzel I had ever had in my entire life. I could not shut up about this the rest of the trip, but now we are just sightseeing a little bit more before we head to dinner, where we had these delicious strawberry Hugos, and we are heading to a nightclub. Hi folks, we're at an Irish pub for karaoke. We have a whole group behind us about to come in, but me and Caitlin are gonna sing our hearts out. We're excited. Due to copyright, I cannot play the music in the following clips, which is a bummer, but I'm just gonna put little music over it that is okay to play. But this was such a fun night. Everyone was just having a good time. Lots of karaoke was being sang. Lots of American songs were playing, so we were able to sing them, and then it was really cool to see like authentic German songs being sang by all of the locals there and things like that. The girls that I was with were an absolute blast. We were just all singing our hearts out, having the absolute best time and making the most of our trip there. So enjoy those clips from this. Good morning, folks. We were off to kind of a rough start today. We were exhausted from yesterday, but we are now on our last stop in Germany to see a beautiful castle that I will put in the name of right now because I am not even going to try to pronounce this name. But this is the castle that Disney inspired their castle from. It was absolutely breathtaking seeing it in person. Look how beautiful that is. It was literally so pretty. And then afterwards, we just grabbed some lunch before we got back on the bus, but I'll let you watch a few more clips from this beautiful view. like that, we are on to our next country. So before we get to Switzerland, we are actually stopping at Liechtenstein, which I'm probably saying wrong, but it is technically considered Switzerland, but it is its own country. So this is a little model of the castle that is in this little city. Here's a little overview. We literally stayed here maybe 45 minutes. It was just to say we went to another country. Now we are driving into Switzerland, though, where there is a beautiful rainbow, and it was literally hailing outside, which was very interesting how quickly that weather changed. That's how you know you're getting closer to the Swiss Alps. But so we are just driving on the bus. Everyone, of course, is gagaing over this rainbow. Here is our little entrance to the hotel. You have to go through this really creepy tunnel that we were all super freaked out at first, but it led up to this beautiful hotel, which was one of the nicest hotels I've ever stayed at in my entire life. Here's me and Caitlin talking about how fancy it is and how we do not think we belong there. This was literally the view from our hotel room. It is absolutely stunning. I'll let you do a little montage of the views. That night we had delicious fondue with potatoes, bread, pickles, these little onions. It was absolutely delicious. And then here is our amazing tour director, Roxy Cheersing. She is so cute. Shortly after, we realized we were still very hungry, so we are now walking to an Irish pub to pick up some chicken tenders, which you will see in a future clip. Next morning, we all boarded this gondola to take us to the top of the Swiss mountains. Our gondola was absolutely full. There was at least 70 people in there. It was absolutely jam-packed. On the way, we saw some beautiful views, lots of livestock, which was really cool to see. Once you got to the top of the area of the gondola ride, that you had to then get on a train to go even further up the mountain. So that is what we are waiting here for. Waiting for that train to come. Once we got to the top of the mountain with the train, we had even another walk to go up this mountain. And let me tell you, this was the hardest walk of my entire life. I literally felt like I was dying going up this thing. I was so out of breath. The incline was so steep, but oh my goodness, were the views totally worth it. When we were done exploring the Swiss Alps, we then got on this ferry that took us into Lucerne. It was an absolutely amazing boat ride. It was about 45 minutes, and seeing the water in person, how blue it was absolutely insane. last night there, our tour director each gave us this postcard which had this adorable little note written on it. I thought that was so sweet of her to do. This is the next morning when we are sadly driving to the airport to all go our separate ways. I am so thankful I did this trip and met so many amazing people on it. If you want to see pictures from the trip, go head over to my Instagram, but I included 2 group photos of our entire group. There was 43 of us, and it was an absolutely amazing time.